What is gold? Just what is gold? Prospector Jess has a recommendation for you. I recommend that you pick up The Gold Prospector's Handbook by Jack Black. Fantastic material for anybody as a basic all the way to professional level prospector. This will get you going and get you going fast. I'm going to be going over some material from the beginning part of The Gold Prospector's Handbook. That'll kind of launch us off on our quest for gold. So let's take a look. So don't forget that the real attraction of gold is the hunt, the find, and the adventure of getting there. Just what is gold? If we look in the Gold Prospector's Handbook, we'll have a whole section in the front on what gold is and the properties. But I'm going to call out a few features that might be of interest. Gold has unusual properties. One of these is its density, 19 times that of water. 19 times. Its color and appearance is extremely unique. The yellowish glow can't be replicated, and it occurs in all sorts of conditions, in all shapes and sizes, whether it's scratched, or whether it's just flattened, or whether it's covered in dull lighting or brilliant lighting. It still shows up as the brightest thing in your pan. You can't miss it. But you do have to know what it looks like and experience it a few times before you realize a lot of what you see in the way of pyrite and other minerals that show up, like micas, that show up in the bottom of your pan. If they sparkle and things like that and they have flat, platy appearance, it's not gold. Gold looks like what you see in this picture. It's a very unusual characteristic that it just glows that brilliant, glowing yellow color. Regardless of whether it's sunny or dark and dull out, doesn't really matter. As long as there's some lighting, you'll see it just glows. It's also quite soft. That's what makes it flatten out into these little flakes you see. But it can actually be flattened out to several atoms thick. That gives it some properties that are quite useful for making plating and covering and things from astrophysics. It is used quite frequently in space as a protection for radiation, such as infrared and ultraviolet, to protect the astronaut's eyes and protect systems from overheating. It is non-magnetic. That property may not seem important to you, but it comes in handy if you have to separate it from the very magnetic black sands that it often is found with. The chemical properties that it possesses are quite unique in that gold essentially is very inert under most conditions. Only under the right conditions with the right kinds of acids can you actually dissolve gold. And that gives it some unique properties when it comes to being in creeks. These properties are, one of them, for example, is that gold oftentimes comes up in lodestone combined with silver and other metals, which make it less pure. But as the silver is exposed to the atmosphere in the creek bed, and as the gold rolls over and over to form nuggets, the nuggets can tend to get more pure as they move along down the stream. It's kind of an unusual property, but it's one of many things that allows you to find gold. It is oftentimes found with silver, sometimes with platinum, and sometimes with rare earth metals. That makes it a very unique combination, extremely valuable, and oftentimes with copper and other metals. So keep in mind that if you're starting to find other native metal, it might be time that you're going to see some gold. What is gold? Gold is value. The picture you see is 10-year gold, the spot price between the years 2001 all the way up to May 2011. And in fact, recently it's been over $1,800 an ounce. That's been quite a spectacle. But the interesting part is that the value of gold has had some history. For example, did you know that between 1931 and 1940, a similar rise in the value of gold led to the finding by small prospectors, these aren't major commercial vendors, in the state of California. Over the year 1931 to 1940, over 330,000 ounces were found in the state of California alone. That comes out to something like 3,300 ounces a year by small miners. Now between 2001 and 2011, the price has risen between $264 to $1,565 and now $1,800 an ounce. And in fact, if you look at the prices back in 1980, when you adjust for inflation, gold would currently have to be somewhere in the range of $2,500 an ounce. So there's still some room to move before the bubble bursts, as everybody expects it to. So the reality is, today, you have an opportunity. Tomorrow, don't really know, but compared with 1980 and the inflation correction, you can see there may still be time for you to get out there and find some of your own. So what is gold? The true value of gold is in the hunt. And we'll keep filling you in on more details on prospecting so that you'll be prepared to make that adventure of a lifetime hunting for and finding gold. This is Prospector Jess saying good prospecting, and we'll see you later.